There's a reason over 250,000 people have chosen to learn tattooing through Tattoo Method Pro. And it's not just hype, it's not marketing, it's because it is real. See, when people start learning tattooing, they think they just need to find a few tutorials, watch enough YouTube videos, and somehow it's all gonna click. But the truth is, tattooing isn't like learning to cook or learning Photoshop or even learning like guitar. This is a trade, a profession. You're putting something onto a person's skin that's gonna stay there forever. And because of that, the way you learn matters more than anything. This is why Tattoo Method Pro exists. It takes people who've got the passion, the drive, the love for this craft and gives them a structure and the clarity to actually make it all happen. Because without structure, no amount of passion is going to save you. Today, I want to explain exactly what makes Tattoo Method Pro, or TMP, the best tattoo course online. Not one of the best, the best. And I'm going to break it down properly so you can see why. We're going to go deep into what most people get wrong when they try to learn tattooing online. Why most so-called beginner courses actually set people up to fail and how TMP actually fixes that. We'll talk about the structure, how every single lesson flows naturally into the next. We'll talk about how it was designed to take someone from never holding a machine to confidently tattooing clients. And later in video, we'll get into the part that changes everything. Personal assessment and the community of serious artists who are all growing together. So if you've ever looked around at this industry and thought, why is nobody teaching this properly? You're in the right place, because that's exactly what I thought too. And that's the reason why I built this. Let's start with the reality of tattoo education right now. Most people learning online are completely lost, and it's not their fault. It's because the information is everywhere and none of it like connects together. One video says use this machine, the next says that machine's rubbish, use this one instead. One artist will say you should pull lines this way, another one says no, you've got to push them like this. It's just so confusing, and when you're new, you don't know who to trust. You're just told, keep practicing, but what does that even mean? Practicing what? On what? In what order? Most people end up jumping from one random thing to the next. They practice like a little bit of line work, then they're gonna try shading, then they start watching realism tutorials, and before they've even learned how to tattoo a clean circle, they end up feeling defeated because they think that they're the problem, when really it's the lack of structure. It's like trying to build a house by randomly stacking bricks, no plan, no foundation, just hoping somehow it's going to turn into a home. And that's what the tattoo industry has done for years, left beginners guessing. If you're not lucky enough to get an apprenticeship, you're told you're never going to make it. If you try to learn online, you're told it's not real. And if you ask for help in most tattoo groups, you're going to get completely laughed at, abused, or just totally ignored. So where do you go? That was the question I kept asking myself years ago, because I remember what it was like trying to learn with nothing but like scraps of information. No roadmap, no feedback, no one showing me why things work in the way that they did. And when I finally figured it all out, when I pieced together what actually worked and realized this whole thing could be taught in a way that actually makes sense, that is where TMP came from. So let me explain how it's built, because this is what changes everything in my opinion. Tattoo Method Pro isn't just a library of lessons. It is a full structured education. So when you start the course, you don't just get thrown in deep end. You don't start tattooing skulls and roses on day one. You start with understanding your tools, because the truth is, if you don't understand your equipment, you'll never control the outcome. So we go right back to the foundations, all right? Choosing your machine, how to set them up, how to choose your needles and understand all the different needles, why depth matters, how voltage and hand speed change and actually work together. From there, we're then going to move on to the control, because before you can tattoo confidently, you have to train your hand. That is where drills come in. The same drills that professional artists still use when they're refining their craft. We take you through each motion step by step, from basic line control, directional lines, perfect joins. Then we progress to shapes, circles, curves, consistent patterns, all designed to build precision. But here's the key: you don't move on until you're ready. You're not rushing, you're not skipping steps, you're building real skills. Once your control is solid, then we're going to move on to the next section: shading, then colour packing, then blending, then small designs. And only then, when you've earned it, we move on to full compositions, where we start pulling everything together like a real tattooist. This is why people get results, because they're following a path that's been built for them, not piecing things together randomly online. Each lesson feeds onto the next. If you skip one, the next is not going to make sense. If you master one, the next becomes easy. That's the difference between guessing and growing. Now, here's something that most people never realise about learning tattooing. It's not just about what you learn, it's about when you learn it as well. So if you learn shading before you've mastered line control, you're going to fight your machine forever. If you try to do realism before you understand contrast, your work is always going to look flat. If you don't understand stretch before you tattoo fake skin or a real person, you're going to tear it every time. That's why order matters. That's why structure matters. And that's why TMP works, because every single step of the entire course is intentional. It's designed to feel like a personal mentorship. Like I'm sitting there right next to you, showing you exactly what to do next. But you can pause it, rewatch it, and master it at your own pace. That's something no apprenticeship can offer, because in a real shop, your mentor's busy. They've got clients in, they've got their own work to do. You might get 5 minutes of the time in a day if you're lucky. But here, you get full access to me explaining every move, every mistake, every reason behind what I'm doing. That's the difference. This isn't just a hobby course. This is an education that turns you into a professional. Now let's talk about another major difference: the mindset of the people inside. Most tattoo groups online are full of ego. People arguing over brands, arguing over machines, and who's better. They'll tear you down for being new. They'll mock your fake skin work, and they'll make you feel like, almost like you don't belong in the group. That doesn't happen in TMP, because the people inside aren't here to show off, they're here to grow. Everyone is serious, everyone is focused, everyone's working through the same structure, the same lessons, the same mission: to become great artists. Imagine logging in every day and being surrounded by thousands of people all want the same thing you do. They're not competing with you, they're encouraging you, who celebrate your progress, who share what they've learned, who actually care if you improve. That is what the TMP community is like. No negativity, no jealousy, no ego, just people who are invested in themselves, because they understand that this isn't a shortcut, it is a real path to where they want to be. And that's what makes this different from every other online tattoo course out there, because anyone can make a few tutorials, but not everyone can build an entire movement. Now, before we move on to the next part, I just want to say this clearly: TMP isn't for everyone, all right? It's not for people who just want to have a go or try it out. It's for people who are serious about becoming tattooists, people who want to build a skill that can potentially change their life, support the family, and give them that freedom. And yeah, it is an investment. It's not the cheapest option out there, but that's because it's not built for cheap results. It's built to make you money, build you a career, and give you something that pays itself back the second that you start tattooing clients. Most students earn it back within the first few clients, and from there, it's just pure profit for life. Because once you've mastered the skill, nobody can take that away from you. You're not relying on luck or followers or shop owners. You've built something that will earn you money for the rest of your life. And that's why I say this, it's not a course, it is a blueprint for your future. Now, in the next part, I'm going to go deeper into the assessments, the part that truly separates TMP from every other course on the planet. Because here, you don't just watch videos and move on. You get personally assessed by me. I'll review your work, tell you exactly what you're doing right, and give you a plan to fix what needs improving. No one else in the world is doing that right right now. Then I'll dive even deeper into the community side, the people, the energy, and why this has become one of the most positive and supportive spaces in the tattoo industry, period. When I first started building Tattoo Method Pro, I made a promise to myself. This course would never be just about selling lessons. It had to be about getting real results for real people. Because let's be honest, there are hundreds of tattoo courses online. Every week, a new one's popping up, and they all make promises about the same thing. Learn to tattoo fast, no experience needed, lifetime access. There's even the in-person courses that literally last 2 weeks. But here's the truth no one talks about. Most of them don't care what happens after you purchase. You sign up, you get your logins, or you attend, you watch a few videos, and that's it. No feedback, no accountability, no real progress tracking. And I started thinking, if a course doesn't have any system to actually check your progress, to give you feedback, to make sure that you're improving, do they even care about your success? Because if the goal was really to help you become an artist, wouldn't they want to see your work? Because they'd want to make sure that you're actually learning, not just watching. That's where the idea for the assessments came in. So inside Tattoo Method Pro, you don't just rush through the lessons. You don't just tick the boxes and say, yep, I've completed it. Because tattooing isn't a box ticking skill. It's precision, consistency, it's mastery. So at key stages throughout the entire course, you submit your work for assessment. And when you do, it's not some automated response or like generic checklist. It's me personally reviewing your progress. I will go through your work. I'm going to look at your line quality, how consistent it is, whether there's any wobbles, whether the lines meet correctly, whether there's any overlaps, when it's consistently done. Same with your shading. And I send back a breakdown of what you're doing right, where you can improve, and how to fix it step by step. It's not about catching people out. It's about helping you get better. Because my goal isn't to have the most students, it's to have the best results. That is the difference between TMP and every other tattoo course on the internet. Most courses are built to get sales. TMP, we are built to get results. That's why we've added the assessments in, because we actually care about your progress. If a course doesn't have the assessments, ask yourself this: are they really invested in your success, or are they just want to take money and then moving on to the next person? It's harsh, but that's the truth. The reason Tattoo Method Pro works is because it holds you accountable, but in a way that lifts you up and not tearing you down. So when I give feedback, it's not to make you feel small, it's to show you exactly how to grow. And when you apply it, you're going to see the progress that's undeniable. You'll start looking back at your old work thinking, how did I ever struggle with this? That is what growth feels like. Let's talk about what happens around those assessments, the community. When you join TMP, you're not just joining a course, you're joining a group of thousands of people all on the same mission to become great tattooists. No drama, no negativity, no like who's better than who, just progress. You've got people sharing their practice work, cheering others on, helping each other like troubleshoot problems, sharing wins and struggles openly without judgment. You'll see someone post a photo of like the first straight lines and loads of other people are commenting straight away, nice work, keep going, try this next. It is a place where everyone wants everyone else to win as well, and that is rare. In fact, I've never seen it before, because most tattoo communities online, let's be honest, are just pure toxic. If you're in any, you will know exactly what I mean. They're full of people who've forgotten what it feels like to be new, full of egos, full of bitterness, full of people trying to make others feel small just to make themselves feel like important. That does not happen in TMP. We have built something special, something the industry has never had before. Thousands of people from around the world, different backgrounds, different stories, all working towards the same goal. All serious, all driven, all proving that the old way isn't the only way anymore. And that's what makes our community different. It's not just another group, it's a culture, a standard, a place where everyone rides together because you're surrounded by people who get it. They're serious, they're focused, they're not wasting time arguing about who's best. They're putting the work in. And when you're around that energy every single day, you cannot help but grow. Now, let's just be real for a second. Tattoo Method Pro isn't cheap, and it's not meant to be. It's not a try it out and see kind of thing. It is an investment in yourself, your future, your freedom. Because here's the truth, the second you start tattooing clients, you literally earn it straight back in a few tattoos. And then from that point on, it's just pure profit for the rest of your life. This isn't like buying a gadget or a subscription. This is a skill that stays with you forever. Every client, every session, every booking, it all stems from what you learn here. And that's why it's not expensive, it's valuable. There's a big difference between the two. Expensive means that you paid for something that didn't give you much back. Valuable means it changed your life, and that's what Tattoo Method Pro does. It gives you the roadmap, the skill set, the support, and the structure to turn your dream into something new. That's why people are proud to say that they're part of it, because it's not just a course, it is a community of winners. Let me tell you the truth about how I see it, and this is going to put a few people off, I would imagine. I don't want thousands of students who half watched the lessons and then never finished it. I want people who take this seriously, who see tattooing not as a hobby, but as their future. People who understand that discipline and consistency will change everything. Because if you show up, do the work, submit your assessments, and lean on the community, it's impossible not to improve. You'll start noticing things most tattooists overlook. You'll understand why your lines have blown out, if that's the case. You'll know how to fix shaky hand movement if you suffer from it. You'll be able to set up confidently, plan tattoos professionally, and execute designs that clients actually want to pay for. That's the level TMP is going to get you to. And when you get there, you realise this wasn't just about learning how to tattoo. This was about becoming the kind of person who can build something from nothing. Someone who didn't wait for permission from a gatekeeper. Someone who invested in themselves and made it happen. That's what Tattoo Method Pro represents as a whole. So if you're tired of guessing your way through tutorials, if you're tired of wondering if you're like doing it right, if you're tired of chasing advice from people who don't want to see you win, this is your sign to take control of that journey again. Because this is the course that is going to take you from where you are to where you've always wanted to be, without shortcuts, no nonsense, just results. Tattoo Method Pro is not for everyone, but it might be just for you. It's for the people who are serious, who want to earn this skill, not look into it, who want to build something real and be part of something bigger. If that's you, then go check it out. All the details are in the description below. And just remember this, everyone starts somewhere, but only the ones who commit grow. And I'll leave you with that. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.